Welcome. I am Day, a woman in recovery from loss, grief, trauma, and addiction. I have found that in my years of active recovery, that upon waking, it is useful for me to affirm and devote myself to the me of my recovery, the one who ties all of the pieces of me together gently and lovingly to face each day. With these daily affirmations, reflections, and devotions, walk with me on the journey of renewal and self reflection. And remember that you are not alone. Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. January 13th. It doesn't happen overnight. Excuse me. We are not cured of alcoholism. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 85. The most common alcoholic fantasy seems to be, if I just don't drink, everything will be all right. Once the fog cleared for me, I saw for the first time the mess my life had become. I have family, work, financial, and legal problems. I was hung up on old religious ideas. There were sides of my character to which I was inclined to stay blind because they easily could have convinced me that I was hopeless and pushed me toward escape again. The big book guided me in resolving all of my problems, but it didn't happen overnight, and certainly not automatically, with no effort on my part. I need always to recognize God's mercy and blessing that shine through any problem I have to face. Fair use. Courage to change one day at a time in Al Anon. January 13th. All Al Anon gives me great spiritual freedom because it encourages me to find a personal understanding of God and to allow others the same freedom. Until I could think of God in terms that were meaningful to me, I was not able to truly turn my life over to a higher power. My concept of God evolves. It changes and grows as I continue to change and grow. How wonderful it is, for I now sense a higher power that is as alive as I am. Never in my life did I dream of finding such a source of serenity, courage, and wisdom. There is a sense of unique purpose to my journey through life. I am the only one who can live it, and I need the help of the God of my understanding in order to live it fully. Grounded in faith, I can hold tight to my course and meet the future with confidence. Today's reminder. Once upon a time, I was afraid to live life for myself. This was because I did not know how to do it and thought that there was no one to show me. Now I have a resource deep within me to guide me along life's many roads. I am not alone on my journey. In the midst of winter, I finally learned that there was in me an invincible summer. Albert Camus. Fair use. Just for today, daily meditations for recovering addicts. Surrender to Win, January 13th. Help for addicts begins only when we are able to admit complete defeat. Basic text, page 22. Complete defeat. What a concept. That must mean surrender. Surrender to give up absolutely, to quit with no reservations, to put up our hands and quit fighting, maybe to put up our hand at our first meeting and admit we're addicts. How do we know we've taken a first step that will allow us to live drug-free? We know because once we have taken that gigantic step, we never have to use it again just for today. That's it. It's not easy, but it is very simple. We work the first step. We accept that, yes, we are addicts. One is too many and 1,000 never enough. We've proven that to ourselves enough times. We admit that we cannot handle drugs in any form. We admit it. We say it out loud if necessary. We take the first step at the beginning of our day for one day. This admission frees us just for today from the need to live out our addiction all over again. We've surrendered to this disease. We give up, we quit, but in quitting we win. And that's the paradox of the first step. We surrender to win, and by surrendering, we gain a far greater power than we ever imagined possible. Just for today, I admit that I am powerless over my addiction. I will surrender to win. Fair use. Today, Emotions Anonymous, January 13. Reflection for today. By now, I can safely assume I am going to make mistakes as long as I live. They are a nuisance, but they have become an increasingly familiar nuisance. I think I would miss them now if they suddenly vanished. When I admit my mistakes, it is like welcoming my in-laws. They are a pain in the rear, but they are a part of me, and I have learned to love them a little. As step 10 suggests, if I continue to take personal inventory, I can catch the mistakes almost as soon as I make them, and then promptly admit them to myself and others. Meditation for today. May I remember to regularly work step 10, to guard against old behavior patterns creeping into my life. Help me to take responsibility for my mistakes and to face the consequences which are the result. Today I will remember the biggest mistake I can make is to not search out my mistakes. Fair use. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. January 13th. Taking a risk. Talking about our feelings is a risk. However, this is a risk worth taking because the rewards are great. BRB, Big Red Book, page 186. Where is it safe to talk about our secret fears, our perceived shortcomings, and our doubts about our own sanity? I will back up and reread that. Where is it safe to talk about our secret fears, our perceived shortcomings, and our doubts about our own sanity? Our higher power gave us a group of ACAs who listen to our feelings and do not judge us. Our ACA fellow travelers feel what we feel and share many of our same doubts and our often misguided perceptions. They do so without trying to fix us and without telling us to get over it. Their hands are outstretched to newcomers who take the risk of walking through the meeting doors to tell their secrets. It is very difficult not to believe in a higher power when we walk into the rooms of ACA and see the unconditional love we display to one another. The ability to share our feelings in this safe environment moves us toward the rewards of the program. We experience the miracle of learning to love ourselves, and we project a new image to the world. On this day, I know that in ACA, I can risk sharing my innermost feelings. They will be met with acceptance and love. Please subscribe, like, share, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be.